Good morning, friends, and welcome to Gardening with Creekside. Today we are going to continue demo day here at the new, we're trying to figure out what to call this project.
Yes, garden box area.
Retaining wall.
I don't know, patio and
garden box patio area. I don't know. Anyway.
There will be a title when you watch the video.
Yeah, we'll figure it out hopefully by the time we publish this video. But if you're completely clueless on what we're talking about, I will link the video above that will tell exactly the project and explain this in depth. But what we're doing basically is we have got to move a lot of dirt today to make room and extend the area for the garden boxes so that the walls can go in and really kind of form the area.
Yeah, we're expecting the block to be delivered early this week. Either it's today.
That would be awesome if it was today.
Yes, either today or maybe hopefully tomorrow. We have some weather coming in, so we're in North Carolina and there is a hurricane coming in Florida. So you're like so many miles. Those things, and they tend, when they come in that section, they tend to ride up the coast and bring us rain. So we won't get the wind, we'll get the rain.
No, but it depends on, and that's the thing about hurricanes. It's the good thing about hurricanes is you got plenty of warning. You know when they're coming.
Yeah.
But they don't always, of course, obviously, know exactly how they're going to go and how much rain you're going to get. So we could get just an inch of rain or no rain at all, or we could get a ton of rain. Who knows?
For us, it was just, it's not a terrible wash spot. It's just the front. We may need to do something just right here in front of these steps, but I think we can manage the situation because we've already had it ripped out for some time. We're just pushing dirt back, and we're not going to really expose the bottom too much right now until we really know that the block's coming. Then we'll dig our trenches. We know the block's here. We can put our gravel in, and we can start building.
Yes, because the gravel is here. We have the gravel, so that's good. Okay, so why don't I hold the camera, I'll film, and you kind of tell us what we're doing today.
Yeah, so we've got all three pieces of equipment down here today. We've got the excavator, the Bobcat E35, we got the MT85 Bobcat, and the 595 skid steer loader. So he's like, why do you have all three of these down here? I mean, you could do a lot with just the excavator. It's so versatile as far as digging goes and transferring the dirt from one section to the next. But we can quickly get in here with the MT85 because it says this is a tight spot that we're going to have to work in, and it can do a lot and move a lot of dirt. We're going to bring the dump truck down here and pull it in right here so we can just load all this soil right into the back of the truck, and then we have a stash because we're always using the soil around here. So we have a stash up the way. But both these machines are really versatile. If we need to come in and get a bunch of dirt at one time, that's when I would bring that larger, unit. Because basically you're using the bigger skid steers and the MT85 to transfer the dirt from one area to the next. Where this one's going to dig them up real fast, and then you could come in and you can really start to level out with these machines. The MT85 really has a nice smooth edge on it, so it'll create that grade for us really well. And I do at the same time, I like the bigger wide bucket on the 595, so I can come in there and just...
You get a bunch of dirt.
I can get a bunch of dirt, and I can make it smooth almost better than I can with the MT, but we're going to use all three of them, I'm sure, at some point today. So, I guess what Jenny said, we got these steps. We're going to have all new steps here, and then along these steps, we have got to build walls. These really will be the steps, but there'll be walls that retain the soil back from these steps here. And then we'll have actually 1, 2, 3, 4, and a 5th step.
Yep, so we have to add a step.
We're going to add a step, and then there will be, walls up here at the top. And then we go to our patio. We're going to dig all this out to the back, behind the little limes, and we'll start to kind of decide once we get all this removed, and we'll kind of decide on how far we're really going to go back. I've got it measured like 20 feet. I think it is, from where the wall is going to be out here. So, but the plan today is just to get that plan solidified and then remove all this soil. Because there's a lot of, I mean,
that's a lot of soil because we're
if
going.
you think about my leg, you know, just how far that is.
Because this is going to be level. So this pad from here all the way, Crepe Myrtle is going. She's going bye-bye, cannot wait. So all of that's going to be level. So from this, so that's a good amount of soil that's going to be gone.
Yeah, that's going to provide a lot more sun for that firelight back there, removing this Crepe Myrtle.
Because you can see like these firelights, how, you know, their size right here, because they get all the sun. And then you come over here, because of the shade of the Crepe Myrtle, these two are not nearly as big and as lush and as thick and as full. So the idea is that today we're going to take out the Crepe Myrtle. So I'm just gonna go, y'all, as I tell my people, just go ahead and prepare your heart. The Crepe Myrtle is gone. We're not even going to pretend to even try to save this tree. This tree was...
yeah, that's not possible. We don't have the...
Yeah, if you wanted to save this tree,
we don't
one, you couldn't afford, like, because literally somebody said on a comment, you know, well, you should give it away to somebody that would enjoy it in their yard. Y'all, do you understand the kind of equipment that it would take to properly dig this tree up? One, you don't do it in August. Properly, you know, dig this thing up, and then to prepare the soil. Y'all, it's going. This tree was never, we didn't buy this tree intentionally. When we got our 3 Crepe Myrtles out front, the white ones, they were dormant. It was the spring. That summer they bloomed. One of them was the wrong color. It was this pink one.
I've dug up like a lot of these in other landscapes when we've been doing landscape projects, whatnot, at other houses, that these roots tend to be really hard, which then they tend to like break, you know, as you dig them up. But they'll have roots that really spread out. Yes,
they do. If you have a Crepe Myrtle, then you know they send out suckers. Like, honey, I saw one that is up there in the chicken, like near the cherry tree. All the way up there, there's a runner.
Right, so that's part, that root system that's going that far out is supporting that tree. So, and we haven't, you know, you would have to do like root pruning, all this.
I don't like the tree.
It's
Bottom
August.
line, Jenny does not like the tree. I never liked the tree. It's here. It's not the right shape. It's going.
But I'm just trying to explain as to why we're not doing that. Like, you know, we're not going to do it because it's August and then the roots. We don't like the tree. The tree's coming out, but we just want to make sure. We just like, you wouldn't want to spend time doing that this time of year.
No. Horticulturally wise, it's not a smart move.
It's dumb.
It's dumb. So yes,
yeah.
Hydrangeas are coming out. I've got 2 peonies in here. We're gonna save the peonies. So Jerry's gonna, just with the excavator bucket, because it's a nice little size bucket, so he can just go in there, scoop out the peonies. Probably for now, I don't know if we're gonna go ahead and replant them. I think I might just put them in a container and hang on to them, because I might put them in the cottage garden. Possibly. I don't really know where they're going to go. So we're going to save the peonies. And so we've got 2 peonies. And then Jerry thinks that we don't have to go up to, these are edge of nights.
Yeah, that's all going to be tricky.
So it's going to be tricky. So we don't, right now the edge of nights are going to stay, because we think we can not have to go that far back. But if we do have to go that far back, then we're going to dig these up and save them. Because basically they're going to get replanted in this same area here.
Yeah, like my whole thing with that is just like, because we're making such a square area down here, and in the boxes that are going in, a rectangle. So I think it would look weird if the wall was on an angle, cutting back, kind of like how these firelights are on an angle, cutting back.
Right, we've got to figure that out.
We got to figure that out. Yeah, and we just have to decide, like, I think it's okay that the bed maybe narrows out itself, and that will look good. It's just that we just can't let that wall,
the wall has to be square with the house and the garage pad. All right, so what we're going to do now is just start pulling stuff out.
We're going to go ahead and start taking some stuff out.
Do we need the dump truck?
Dump truck and get that thing.
So we're going to go grab the dump truck, so that way we can put the debris in there, and then.
See, this is why, like, you know, I'm gonna get.
He's gonna get on the soapbox, I can tell.
No, but it's just like these are the very reasons why you don't hire a bad landscaper. Like you know, because you look at, you can't go by, you know, the quotes and the price and all this. You know, like I brought in today, and I'm on my property, and this is gonna make it way easy for us because we got all 3 pieces of equipment. We didn't have to haul to your yard. We have a dump truck that's here, ready for accessible. So to come and do this at your place, like we're going to bring it all to you, you know, and we're not going to cheap out with just one piece of equipment.
No, because it takes so much longer.
It takes so much longer. So when we come to do it at your place, we're going to knock it out, and we have the equipment to do that. So you, in a situation like this, the last thing that you need to be looking at is price. You need to work with the landscaper that you trust and working on your budget and your project and decide, okay, Jerry, I'm not gonna, let's just see if we can, in this case, you might say, we're not gonna go back 15 feet, we're gonna build the wall here so we don't have to remove all this dirt, and you start to save on the budget when that goes. That's the way to kind of look at a project.
Right, so that's, and so what he's, I'll paraphrase, is that find a landscaper that you trust, that is well respected within your community, and basically you need to have a budget, because so many times we'll go to landscape jobs and we're like, well, what is your budget? And they're like, oh, I don't know, just give me a quote. And that's like, okay, is this a $2,000 job or is this a $20,000 job? Because just like when you buy a house or build a house, like there is no limit. Like you can max it out. So if you say, well, I don't know, I don't have a budget, and then we come back with you at 20,000 and you're like, oh my gosh, that's crazy. So you've got to come up with some.
Guys fear with landscaping is that they're going to quote the person this huge number, where the number is probably legit.
Oh yeah,
it's
legit.
To be done.
Right. So come up with a budget, and then finding that landscape professional that you trust and that's well respected, and they can say, yes, that is a doable number for this project, or that is, for what you're telling me, that's not a doable number. So we either need to adjust your budget or we need to adjust the project, right? Because I think so many times people just don't have a clue what landscaping costs. And so communication, but come up with some kind, you got to start with something, y'all. Give them a budget and then go from there, and then communicate back and forth with your landscape professional.
Yep.
So
that's cool. I thought that would be a good point.
That's a great point. Communication, people. Clear
I'm ready
communication.
To do some demo.
I say, well, I'm done talking. I'm ready to start ripping out some stuff and moving
Chip,
some dirt.
if I was Chip, you know, I'd just run myself right through that little line, you know?
You would.
I just like bear hug that thing.
Yeah.
But I'm not going to do that.
You're not Chip Gaines.
The machine.
Here we go.
This is demo day outside, right?
Right. My friends, I am one happy lady, because look at that. The space already looks so much better, so much more open. And look, those firelights already have sun on them, right? So immediately getting rid of that crepe myrtle just completely opens up the area, gives these babies the sun that they need. And those summerifics, the age of nights, they too are going to get so much more sun, because if you can notice, bless their little hearts, this last one right here is just puny. 2 little stalks, and then as you go down they get bigger because of the more sun. So lots of sun here. Just already looks so nice. You can see the fig tree right here in all of her glory. I think we're going to go ahead and trim back the lower petalum, so that's going to open it up even more. But having the excavator made all the difference in the world. I mean, it literally took him, what, 10 minutes at the most to get rid of the crepe myrtle. And so you can see right there he got the main trunk, the main root system, but then you have all these little side shoots. So all of this, of course, is going to get cleared out. I have one little patch of epimedium. He's going to come through with the bucket once Andrew gets back. He's currently holding up a lot of the tree. So once he gets his bucket free, he's going to come and pop out the epimedium for me. Got the peonies out, so we'll go ahead and I'm just gonna go ahead and I don't know, I go back and forth to just throw them in a pot because I don't know where I'm going to put them, or to go find a place real quick and get them in the ground. I'm thinking the pot option is going to be a whole lot easier, so I think that's what we're going to do. But oh my goodness, already just opens up this area. You can see up to the chicken coop. You can see all of the great things that are up there. And yeah, so we have now got a lot of soil to move back. I mean, that's a lot. So what we're going to do is get the rest of the crepe myrtle cleaned up. We had, like I said, quickly filled up the dump truck, and Andrew went to go dump that. We get asked a good bit about where our, like what do we do with our green debris? And so we don't officially compost in the fact of, like, we don't put it in an area and do all the things that you're supposed to do and then reuse that as compost in our gardens. What we do is we have multiple areas throughout our property where we just put green debris, whether it's something big like this, like a crepe myrtle, or if it's just when I'm pruning or whatever. And so we just let it naturally return to the earth. And so that's kind of our compost dump piles of just green debris. So Andrew hauled all of that to the one that's up near the production area. So, but yeah, so we've still got a good little bit left right here to fill up the truck. So we'll get all of the green debris cleaned up, and then he will go ahead and removing some of the soil. So hopefully making quick work of it, because it is already getting quite muggy out here, and we are glistening for sure. So onward we go. Okay, my friends, so I'm going to give you a little bit of a mid-afternoon update on things that have been happening here. We made really good progress as far as cleaning out and cutting out the pad for the garden boxes. It's really been kind of a tag team effort of, you have to use the excavator to really kind of cut this out, make big piles. Then Jerry comes through with the big bobcat, because it has the biggest bucket, dumps it into the work truck, and then Andrew hauls it off. I believe this is going to be truck number 5 of that soil. What we're doing is we're stockpiling it. We're just making a big, huge pile up on the back end of the property, because we always need at some point some great fill dirt to make a pad or do whatever. So we're not getting rid of this. We're putting it in a holding pattern for when we do need it. So that's what's happening. Jackson started it, and then Andrew, because the Lord blessed him with long legs, is working on trimming this lower pedalum, because what we're trying to do is see if we can get rid of this lower pedalum. I would prefer that the lower pedalum would go away, but because it's so close to this green giant, see how we've got this little bit of a hole right here because the lower pedalum had grown so much, and we've got dead in there. So I'm not sure if I would prefer to take it out, but I also need this to fill in. So we're trying to figure out if we're keeping the lower pedalum or we're getting rid of the lower pedalum. Like I said, I would prefer that it go away, because the reason I want it to go away is we've changed some of the original plan. We're gonna put the steps in right here. And so the steps going up to the chicken coop will be in this corner. And I just know how these lower pedalums are, is that I will be fighting it for the rest of my life because they're so vigorous that it's gonna be growing over into the steps. So we're trying to figure out if it stays or if it goes. So right now they're just trying to clear out as much soil as possible. And of course, it's true Creekside fashion, it's starting to rain. We have a little cell coming through just right now, so it's not going to be bad, but it is going to be raining here for a second. So what we're going to do is, we had originally thought that this was going to be 20 feet. So basically and I'm trying to also get out of the way so I don't get run over by a bobcat. So essentially what we thought was going to happen is, from the back end of this wall to the front of this wall was going to be 20 feet. But of course you have to dig out more than that 20 feet, because you've got to have room to come in and put the French drain and all of that. So we were going to give ourselves 3 extra feet for construction, and then we would come in and backfill. And so keeping that wall straight means that we would have cut all the way up to here, right beside of this firelight. And that's just way too aggressive of what we want to do. So what we're thinking is that we've got enough room. We're going to make it a little bit shorter, as far as the pad's going to be a little bit shorter. And then it's going to be a straight wall all the way down until you get to this corner, and then we're going to curve it around. You can see some irrigation pipes and so forth. But what we did is to make sure that we've got plenty of room for the boxes to come in. So we did a little bit of spray painting, and we have plenty of room. I think it's 3 feet. So there'll be a 3-foot path, a box, 3-foot path, box, and then here will be about a 2-foot path just around in this one little corner. But, you know, the next step was then to really kind of test that out. So what we did is, we're not sure that they're going to come down this far. Ooh, it's raining now, y'all. We didn't know if they were going to come down this far, so we went backwards and worked from the center point, and we've got plenty of room. So the plan is that these boxes will actually get pushed down. All of that to say, let's hopefully made any kind of sense whatsoever, is that we've got plenty of room. So we've got plenty of room for those 5 boxes to go in. And so what Jerry's doing now is getting all the extra soil out, right? So getting all the soil out, because what we want to leave it at the end of the day is to have a nice slick pad here, which is really going to be slick now that it's raining. It wasn't supposed to do this today. We had like a 17% chance of rain. Guess what? It's now 100% chance of rain. So to get this nice and slick, and to get it out of here. So I'll see you back here in a minute. Hopefully it's going to stop raining really quickly. All right, my darlings, so that was a little bit more of a rainstorm than we were expecting. Like I said, literally the forecast had no rain in today. That's why we were doing this today. But you know, go with flow around here. Yeah, I'm a little wet. So we're going to stop for today because it is, I don't know, we've probably got maybe a good ½ inch of rain that came down pretty hard. So all, of course, that lovely red mud or soil is now red mud. I'm gonna try to keep Brenna out of it. She's already dirty enough, but stay here, Bee. And so it is just, yeah, so we got a little bit of standing water, but it didn't run. And so that's good. And here she goes. Well, can you tell? She's getting ready to get a bath anyway, because she's an indoor dog, so like she sleeps inside and all that other stuff. So with all that red mud, she was already muddy before it started raining because she had gone down to the creek and then to get cooled off, and then she came and laid in the dry red soil. And y'all, yeah, when I tell you we have red clay, this is what we have. This is red clay. So the dog is filthy. She will be getting a bath before she goes in the house. So we made good progress today. It is what it is. We'll see what the weather does for the rest of the week. I know we had talked about, because on, I think actually when this video is airing, which will be on Thursday, today is Monday. Today's Monday, on Thursday when this video is airing, that's when Debbie is supposed to come through. So Hurricane Debbie is right now in Florida. She's supposed to make her way up. We don't know, like we said earlier, how much rain we're going to get from her, so we're going to need to somehow secure this just a little bit to make sure it doesn't wash terribly, which it's not. So yeah, anyway, good work today. We made a mess. Demo, as I tell my kids, sometimes you have to make a mess to make things better, and that's what we did today. So we're just going to move forward, and based off of the weather, we'll see where we go. All right, my friends, progress continues. We'll see y'all in the next video. Bye, friends.